These parents were mistaken for grandparents by a teacher. After a moment of embarrassment, they returned home. Since Jacob's resurrection, Jacob's father has been very cold to him, because he was afraid of experiencing the pain of loss again, so he kept telling himself that this was not his son, it's just a resemblance. But the details kept reminding him that the Jacob in front of him was the same child that had been dead for so many years. The man finally confided in his wife about his struggles. He told her that every time he saw Jacob, he'd think of what happened 32 years ago, and how he was born in October, and how he buried him with his own hands. At night, a father would sneak into his son's room to tuck him in, but he didn't realize that as soon as he stepped away, the neighborhood children came to make trouble. They scared Jacob. The next morning, the doctor came to examine Jacob, and when they did, the mother found her son hiding bags under his bed. She was suspicious. Compared to the average child, Jacob ate an abnormal amount of food, and he never slept. This made the mother very worried, but she didn't dare tell her husband, though it could be a red flag. But when she was confronted with her returning son, she decided to ignore all the irregularities. The next morning, mother was playing the piano in the living room. The father was on the couch reading the newspaper. The son was playing games with his friends in the living room. It was such a cozy scene. One almost forgets that Jacob is a resurrected dead man. And then in the evening, Jacob came into the room to see his father. He said he was afraid of the kids who were making trouble, and he was afraid he'd be taken away. This ordinary father-son conversation touched his father's heart. He opened up the dusty basement. Inside, he dug out his own records of his son, photographs of his son from the time he was born to the time he grew up. The father cried. It was the first time he cried. This was a man who had lost his son for 32 years. Finally faced with the complex emotions of losing and regaining his son, he never thought that one day his son would come back. What's even more pathetic, he had just accepted everything. He was told that his son might disappear,